All right, guys, it's been a little bit. Bear with me, I look like hell. I've been feeling like shit lately, but more work on the Bronco. Been doing some work on the power windows and doors, trying to get everything working again so I can at least seal her back up because she leaks like a sieve. And as a result, the interior has gotten destroyed over the years. So we're gonna try and save what we can of this. The plastics, fortunately, I don't know what Ford used for plastic back in the day, but I like it. I mean, it's evil. You can't break it unless you really want to. So I think I'm going to go through and I'll re-dye all of the factory plastics that are in still usable condition. We're currently taking apart the rear tailgate because this window does not work, and I need this window to roll up and seal so that I can start working on the interior and know that the rain isn't going to destroy all my hard work. So that's where we're at. And in addition, I went ahead and took apart the window regulators on both sides, passenger and driver, and rebuilt them, cleaned up the brushes, made sure the gears were in good shape, re-lubed. Oh, we have ants. Well, that's cool. Yeah, we got quite a few ants. Well, I hope you're enjoying the wow. Take two without getting distracted. So I went ahead and rebuilt the driver and passenger window regulators. Cleaned off all the rust, gave them a little light coat of just flat black just to keep them from rusting again. And cleaned out the doors pretty well. I still need to get in there and actually really get the rest of that grit out of the bottom. Those drain holes there need to be open. And I'm happy I can see daylight, but that is the reason that your doors rust out. When those get clogged up, then it stores water in there and your door just rusts out from the bottom. So we want to avoid that on this truck. We got enough rust as it is. Namely there and all of this back here. And I don't even want to talk about that right now. But yeah, that's where we're at. Very nice. I don't have the window switches hooked up yet because I don't know. They're done. Need new window switches. Time for a junkyard run, but need new seals, and then all of that chunkiness will go away, and it should roll up and down smoothly. But you know, I'm happy with it. Very nice. All right, so in order to get this window out so we can restore this mess, first thing we have to do is remove as much as we can to get access to it. So we'll get rid of that. And there are no other panels back here I can remove. Now, in order to roll the window up, the motor is actually working, but it will not work when the tailgate's down as a safety feature so you don't break your window. In order to defeat that, we have to lie to it and tell it that it's closed. And then it'll work. I need two hands for this. We're gonna try and turn the key and get this window up and out so we can remove it and get all this garbage out of here. And this tailgate is probably trash. It's really badly rotted, but for the initial phases of the car and getting it running, we'll just restore this as we can, and then I'll start sourcing a new tailgate for her. All right, I managed to pull the window out. That wasn't a big deal. You can see now when we turn the key, it does nothing, but it does turn. The motor's working. So we've got a gear issue and the motor sounds weak. I'm gonna take all of this crusty, rusty crap out and fix her up. All right, so we got the main bolts off of here that we can get to for the regulator, but there's still a couple that come through from the other side, and that's where these guys come in. We need to remove these so we can get the trim panel off of the back, and that'll give us access. Oh, you guys are adorable. For every good mechanic, there's an equally incompetent engineer. It's just spinning. It's not coming off. Oh no. Maybe your brother will cooperate. Yes, maybe. Possibly. No. Do you not think so? I don't know what is going on. Why are you being so difficult? Just imagine the engineers at Ford. Well, let's put 6 or 8 obvious bolts, and then we'll hide a couple behind the mechanism and underneath the trim panel. Do we need to do that? No, we really don't, but I think it'll be fun. Okay, cool. And then we'll use screws from the inside of the panel to hold the trim piece on, so that you'll have to go to the place that you started in order to find the new bolts that you have to take off to get to the bolts that we hit. That'll be really fun. And let's also make these trim bolts, which, by the way, are holding on like a 16-inch thick sheet of steel. They should be at least a foot long. You know, that way when they get nice and rusty, the owner can get a workout removing them over the course of the afternoon. Damn it. All right. God, that's a lot of rust. The window regulator is out, and it's got a lot of surface rust. It's got so much old grease on here, I can't tell what shape these gears are in, but we'll clean everything up, get all this rust off, take this motor apart, restore that, and hopefully we got a working window regulator. And if not, junkyard is in my near future. All right, so the regulator is clean now. We can inspect it for damage, figure out what's wrong with it, and hopefully get it back up and running. That's it there. Looks like our teeth are all in pretty good shape. Let's check this other spot. Yeah, teeth all appear to be good. It's a little bit of grease to get off of there, but grease never hurt anything. The metal's all in good shape. There's no major corrosion. A little bit of surface rust on these arms here, nothing major. So we're gonna wire wheel this thing off, give it a fresh coat of paint to protect it from future wear and rust. And then we'll get all of the mechanics back together, and we've got to take apart this guy. It works, but not very well, and to be honest, well, that's disgusting. I'm impressed it works at all. And there may be a problem there. We'll take a look. This is a quick service announcement for my fellow shade tree mechanics. Remember, you're always one ugga-dugga away from breaking something important. Damn it. This is one of the fun things about working on cars. Everything's going great, and then, you know, stuff happens. This is a friction weld, I believe, on here, and now I've got to get this off, find a bolt that matches that, and fabricate it so that it will fit perfectly here, and then we can weld it on, because I don't want to go to the junkyard for that. Here we go. Well, that does that. Well, you don't want to cooperate, baby. Why is such a problem? I don't understand. We will grind you. All right, we got that ground off. We've got a duplicate, a copy made. We're gonna install. That's gonna go right there, just like that. And yeah, let's see if we can't tack that on without setting ourselves on fire. Beautiful. There's one. All right. So our gear looks okay. That's plastic. That was what I was worried about. That's the motor drive gear. This is the actual window drive gear. This one's metal. Looks like it's in good shape too. Just need to replace the disintegrated bushing here. I'm going to pull the motor off. Take a look inside that.
Come on, you sticky bastard.
Yep. Just like that. This housing comes off. We can take that out and clean it. Here is the armature for the motor. This will just lift straight out. Let me clean this off so I don't get grease everywhere. All right. So we can see this is all good. The end of the shaft here looks good. Bushing, gears, all good. So this is okay. There's a little bit of burning on the commutator, you can see that wear. So we'll clean that up. Burning causes the motor to run less efficiently and have less torque and power, so fix that. One of the other motors that I repaired, the magnets had come loose, and that was just a matter of cleaning out the case and JB welding the magnets back in the appropriate location. Now we'll pop the end cap off of here and we'll take a look at the brushes. Actually, I'm not gonna do that. If you look in there, that is beautiful. I'm not gonna break this seal and have to replace it when there's nothing wrong with any of that. That's all looking good. So let's clean up this part of the case. We'll clean up the comm, reinstall the brushes, and I think we'll be okay. This is an armature from a motor, and this is referred to as the commutator. This is what transfers the electrical energy from the circuit in the car to the windings in the motor that actually allow it to spin. Now, this slight discoloration here, it isn't that bad, but it's arcing, it's burning. Electrical sparks going from one place to another and they burn the surface. This is the #1 reason for motors not working in just about everything. And it's amazing to me how many motors we throw away a year because of this. And it's because, you know, they're not really meant to be serviced, or at least people aren't taught to service them. But this is one of 3 window regulators in my truck that I would have had to purchase new had I not just taken them apart and cleaned the commutators. So I'm gonna show you how to do it. There's the right way and there's my way. And I'm gonna show you my way. Basically, you just want to drill with a big enough chuck to fit your armature. Doesn't need to be on there super tight. Make sure your chuck doesn't damage the actual motor armature itself. We just need to rotate this. Just like that. And then I'm going to grab some sandpaper, super fine. This is like 3,000 or 4,000 grit, I don't remember, but really fine, emery cloth basically. And all we're going to do is buff the discoloration out of here, and we want to do it as flatly and evenly as possible. I'm going to grab a flat surface, place it on the back side of the sandpaper, and apply even straight pressure while I rotate this. There you go. You can see how much shinier that is. The idea is here, you don't want to put scratches or damage the surface. You still want it to be really nice and polished and bright, but get off all of that carbon deposit and the motor should have a lot more power. Now we'll take a little bit of, oops, that was supporting my camera. A little bit of electrical contact cleaner on here just to get the remainder of the dust and shavings off that we just made. And you can see, well, maybe you can see when I do this. Look at all that dirty stuff coming off. Look at all that gross carbon. I'll do that until it drips clean. Still with us? There you go. That's what it should look like right there. Now we're gonna put her back together. We got our stuff cleaned up here, and we're ready to throw this thing back together. Oh, I need that. So this part here is really clean inside. I'm not gonna mess with that. All we've got to do is get these brushes recessed out of the way so we can get our armature back in there. And just knock the cap out real quick so it's easier to get to. All right, we're at the point of reassembling the motor, and we've got to get these brushes back in their holders and out of the way so that we can get the armature in there. And I'm going to show you my life hack for doing that quick and easy. Staple gun. Grab you a couple of staples. Straighten them out so that they look like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our brush We're going to grab it by the wire here, and we're going to push it all the way back. And you'll see there's just a little gap right here. We're going to slip our staple in. Boom. Retained. Same thing for the other side. Pull it back. Insert staple. Boom. Now, the armature will drop right in. And we remove the staples. And there it goes. Let's keep working. That's back in there like that. Make sure that's all cleaned off. This is the only thing I have at the moment that will seal this, but it's actually too big. And since this is what I call a passive seal, just to keep, moisture from seeping in rather than direct blasts of water, I'm going to cut this one down and make it work. It's actually a fuel pump seal, but it will do beautifully. We'll just wrap this around until it's fitting properly, and then we can cut it.
And because it's not the right seal, I actually have something just for this.
This is a marine adhesive specifically for gaskets, for use in underwater and marine environments. So I don't see how this could possibly be a problem. There we go.
All right.
Very nice. This guy goes in here, just like this. And that's fitting there nicely. There's no gaps or anything. Now here's where the fun part comes in. This goes in here. But, see, this is not tight. The reason for that is there's supposed to be a bushing, like I said, in here and here. I don't have the bushing, so we're gonna make one. Now, if you'll notice the shape of this, it's got these 3 little indentations here where the bushing would come in and catch. We're going to take field tubing and make our own. It's probably easier to do this out of it. So, bushing, bushing, bushing. Goes just like that. And then we have to wedge them all in here. Like so. And that is how that's supposed to work. Just a little dampener. I'm going to get the remainder of the debris out of these teeth here. And we'll put this together. This goes in here. Like so. You can see the bushing's working like it should now. And the plate will go on top. But before we do that, we need to fill this with fresh grease. Let me go grab some grease. Assembled and done right. Now we just need to fill this thing with grease. Use some Molly grease here. A little bit on there.
So here to kind of coat everything, but if you're able to pack it pretty tight, then if you do get any moisture in the area, chances are it won't make it into your motor and cause corrosion.
All right, this should be good. This looks all right. Okay, now I'll put the cover plate back on.
Go on just like that. These guys here. This is not the right side.
Yes. I don't have patience. Like I said, a good dog is not recommended, but he's a major time saver. With motor assemblies, every new component is another opportunity for binding and failure. And I'd like to find out the moment it happens rather than after I've installed it in the back of the car. Still good? All right, here's the regulator. I went ahead and gave it a really rudimentary spray of paint because I'm running out. But just wanted to give it a little bit of corrosion resistance while I've got it out. I'll probably be removing it again, like I said, once I actually get the proper window seals and, you know, all of the little parts that I don't have on hand right now. But I'm kind of in a hurry. We have a big storm coming this afternoon, and this truck is nowhere near waterproof, especially with no windows in it. And as bad as the interior has been destroyed over the last decade or so, I really don't want to add to it by just flooding the thing out. Now I've got some of the interior cleaned up, and I'd prefer not to start molding again. So we're going to put this in as is, and know that if I have to come back and do some work on it in the future, you know, we will. But I think this will work for probably a couple of years the way it is.
All right. Cover up our little plastic joints here, so they are.
So, teeth look good. I don't see any reason for it to have issues making connection. These teeth were good. Maybe there was something loose. I don't know. Bit of play you see is that bushing that we put in, working as it should, and see if it's actually working as a complete assembly. Hopefully it is, and we can throw it in the car. Beautiful. And the other way. Very nice. Let's verify the position this needs to be in to be reinstalled. We'll get the window cleaned up and ready to be put back in. We'll throw this back in the tailgate. Remember earlier that I said clogged drains in the doors and bodywork are the reason for rust. This is the inside of the tailgate. Oh, it's really hard to see, but I don't think drainage is going to be an issue. I'd say those drains are pretty effing clear. Oh, jeez. This is exactly why I have to do things 4 or 5 times, because I'm retarded and I forgot to put in spring. So now we must do that first. Damn it. All right. In order to install the spring, we had to move the regulator to the full up position to relieve some of the tension on the spring, and this is the weird system I'm going to use to put it back on. Maybe I'll be able to show you how I did it. Let's see. Leverage, additional leverage. this is going to be so much fun. I can tell already. I'm going to have wonderful memories of this moment forever. I can tell. Oh, you're gone now. I cannot come get you. Please have patience. Damn it. Okay. Problem number 2 of working without instructions. Spring was on 180 degrees off, so now it should be where it needs to be. Beautiful. Spring is installed. Okay, regulator is completely assembled now, I'm pretty sure. Now we're going to install. Once again, put regulator in the position it needs to be in. We will roll window down to halfway so it fits. Perfect. And now it's in and out of the way, we can roll the window up all the way, or most of the way, to get out of the way for these screws that I got to get to. I'm going to go ahead and secure this wiring up out of the way, like it should be, so we don't accidentally cut or damage anything. Alright, these guys, the ones we fixed up that actually mount to the window, need to be greased, as well as the plastic bits that slide onto them. A little bit of grease.
Make sure I coat all the surfaces in there with a little bit of grease. It's corrosion protection and it'll help everything slide smoothly. There's that one.
These guys go back in here, just like this. Come on, you bastard. Yes. Very nice. And there's one. And now we move to the side. That was designed by a Ford engineer who thought he was going to be fired, or possibly just hated people. I'm not sure. I don't really know. Yeah, this is a pain in the butt. But it's because I'm holding phone. If I were not holding phone, this would be easy. This is kind of the problem with TikTok. You cannot see unless I am in discomfort. But it's the process and I enjoy it. You can see it. It wants to, but it does not. I want to go on. Alright. Well, this is the one we fixed. Perhaps it's still a little bit smushed, so we will spread it out just a touch. Okay, after a little bit of tweaking, some cursing in multiple languages, our pieces are installed. Ready for the window. God bless me.
There's our window. We need to now clean and install.
a couple of hours. It was a lot of work, but I'm glad that it seemed to have worked out, and just in the nick of time, because the weather is rolling in. We're supposed to have some, God, up to 50-mile-an-hour winds and some pretty serious rain. So I want to make sure this thing is at least kind of sealed. And here we go. Just like it should. I love it. Let's go down. Why not? Did all that work. Beautiful. That noise is the rods for the linkage in here, still loose. I gotta fix that, but at least the window works. Beautiful. Join me next time when I'm working on, I don't know. I have ADHD, so join me next time when I walk out here and look at this thing and decide what needs to be fixed next. Thanks for watching.